All right. Hi, this is Shannon McGrew from Nightmarish Conjurings. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Of
This
course.
was
Hi.
so much fun.
Thank you.
So, to kind of kick things off, what inspired the story?
Well, it was based on a short story. And I read it. I immediately fell in love with it because it presented an opportunity to tell a very different kind of ghost story. So I thought it was a really fresh take on a ghost story. So that's what really got me.
I noticed, and maybe this is just me, but I noticed that there's some homages to possibly Beetlejuice. Was
Oh
that just
yeah,
something I made up? Oh, okay, so that was a part of where you okay. Yay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Are you a huge Beetlejuice fan?
I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. I mean, it starts there. But yeah, I mean, I love Beetlejuice so much.
Yeah.
It's such a great film.
I love seeing it incorporated into this type of ghost story because like you're saying it's very different than other supernatural ghost stories that we've seen before, and so kind of going off of that, what how did you know David Harbour was right for the role of Ernest, but also was the short story, was that character silent as well, didn't speak, or was that something that was added to the movie?
The in the short story, and God, I hope I'm not messing this up. In the short story, Ernest was silent.
Okay.
Um, and David Harbour was the perfect choice because I'm a longtime fan of David's. And what I appreciate about him is that he's there's this everyman quality to him. You know, there's something that's just very relatable and very likable. But he's a theater trained actor, you know, so he knows how to play to the back of the house. He's very expressive with his face. And I knew that that's what this role needed. So he was really the perfect choice.
And when I talked to him, he mentioned that he was the one that pitched to you to have the comb over.
Yes, he loved the comb over. And I love that he was willing to really go for it, you know? And I think that's another thing about David that he just sort of, I think he likes to disappear into a role. And I think part of that is having a really specific and unique look.
Yeah, he was the whole cast was fantastic. I could talk more about it, but to wrap things up, what do you think horror fans are gonna love so much about this film?
I mean, I think what's great is that it's kind of that classic sort of gateway horror, you know, it gives you just enough of it, but it's safe for a lot of people who aren't big horror fans. But I also think in general, like I think what horror fans can really get from this is that we get to unpack a lot of tropes, you know, and invert them. And so you'll see a lot of Easter eggs in the movie. I'm definitely sort of trying to plant as many sort of little homages and little sort of nods to movies that I grew up with. So there's definitely that as well.
Well, you did a great job. I'm such a huge fan of your work, so it was such an honor and a pleasure to speak with
Oh, that's
you.
really kind. Thank you so much.
Of course, have a wonderful day.
All right, you too.